Welcome to Tales from the Backlog. I am Steve Boshear, and I will be your storyteller for the evening. If you've never seen this channel before, this is the show where we do a different game every Monday night, although this is part 2 of Vampire the Masquerade. And we didn't have any games the last 2 weeks because one week there was nothing scheduled anyway, and the next week something got canceled. But we're back for part 2 of this game, Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition. On Friday nights, we stream our ongoing Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition game, which has me DMing and a whole different group of players. And that just streamed episode 92 on our most recent Friday. We have been pre-recording that one for a few episodes. We might be streaming live this week. It's still being discussed for episode 93. If we are not able to stream live this Friday night, then that means there won't be a stream this Friday night, but we'll be pre-recording on the weekend, and that D&D game will be back. Next week on this stream, Monday nights, our good man Jason will be running our 4th game of Merkborg.
Wait, no, isn't that 2 weeks from?
Is it? Why? Because 4th of July.
Is the 4th, right?
4th of When I look at the sign-up sheet, I don't always read the dates. I just look at the order they're in. But you're right. Yes, there is a week in there.
Only know it
next week is
because
the 4th of July.
That was an extreme level of, oh shit, prep panic. No, I have 2 weeks. I have 2 weeks to keep prepping.
2 weeks for Merkborg. But on the 4th of July, we will just be waving American flags and eating hot dogs, or going to bed early, whatever you want. But we'll see you guys for that in 2 weeks, and D&D another time. For now, let's go around the circle and reintroduce our characters who are still out on their first night as vampires. Starting over there.
That's me. I'm playing Marsh. I'm a Nosferatu, former mob leg breaker. I'm pretty ugly, and I sport a really kickin' hockey mask. I killed a guy last game.
You did.
Dead?
And you ate another guy.
Yeah, I did. Well, I ate a dead guy, and then I killed a guy to feed on him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eating the dead guy wasn't particularly effective.
Yep.
Next up,
I'm Terry. I'm playing a Bruja, I think is how it's pronounced. I am a vigilante. I am coming to terms with my inhumanity, and I have refused to have any blood of any kind at this point. Because unlike Marsh, I'm not a psychopath. I might be mentally ill because I'm a vigilante, but I'm not a psychopath.
Man, I'm just like you can be some weird vegan vampire all you want, dude.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
All right, I was gonna say, and I'm Sarah, and I am playing Sam the Tremere. Sam has a particular set of skills that she has been pretty close-lipped about, and she has a particular set of interests that appear to have brought her to the attention of certain people that she is now very eager to find and get in touch with to further aid her in her quest for knowledge. Sam came very close to killing somebody last time, and only through the timely intervention of Marsh did I not murder a unfortunate person who happened to be in my path when I lost my temper.
He was an aspiring poet, and as I mentioned last game, had you bothered to talk to the poor fellow, he would have given you his blood in exchange for you listening to his works. But Sam does not know that. That's out of character information.
Sam cannot really imagine a person who would willingly do that.
I do enjoy the character of Marsh because Marsh is the guy who woke up in a freezer, felt vaguely hungry for blood, and without anyone saying, hey, vampires are real and you are one, just lunged for the dead body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
Dude,
it makes
Gotta be real about shit.
the thing makes you wonder what kind of stuff Marsh got up to before. If every random impulse he has, no matter how horrific, he's just like, oh well, fuck it.
This guy had to be a cannibal
More or
even
less.
before he turned.
Yeah, or at least he had no problem with cannibals.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, last time, as I just alluded to, our player characters woke up in a freezer. All of them on their first night as a vampire. None of them knew what they were yet, but somehow they had been turned, embraced, as it's called in this game, and then immediately staked through the heart, which immobilized and rendered them unconscious. At some undetermined amount of time later, you were all reawakened in an industrial freezer full of animal carcasses and one dead human body. Marsh, as has already been mentioned, fed on the dead human, which availed him nothing because vampires need living blood. Terry attempted to stop Marsh, but not very hard. You guys quickly escaped from the freezer by unlocking the door, met a security guard who happened to be a cousin of Sam's,
Yep.
and realized you were in some sort of restaurant. Perry, the security guard, let you out, and in the alleyway you were discovered by Marcus, one of the kindred, who informed you of what you now are, offered to help you, but also told you that Optimat Prime in the chat. Welcome.
Oh, hey Matt.
It's been a while. Glad to see you here. Yeah, so Marcus told you what you are, also informed you of the existence of a group called the Second Inquisition, which is less a group than a movement, really. And they were on their way to get you. So he gave you a burner phone telling you to hit redial to contact an ally of his for help, and then drove you across town in a high-speed chase, losing the Second Inquisition follow van and dropping you off in front of a hotel. In that hotel, you guys decided to feed. Marsh killed a guy. Sam drank a guy but didn't kill him. And Terry refused the opportunity. Although we did get to see Terry climbing walls and shit, which was awesome. Terry was more of an accomplice than a participant. Found the victims but didn't partake. Also, Marsh got to demonstrate his power, which was sneaking around unnoticed, and which is an ability, by the way, that I associate with Luke Skywalker from the Timothy Zahn books that immediately follow Jedi, because I read those back before the expanded universe was like a huge thing, and yeah, that's something Luke does, is he just convinces people that he's not important enough to notice with his mind. And then also Sam used some sort of domination power on the security guard. So you all got a little
Jedi mind tricks.
Yeah, you all got a little chance to use your new vampiric abilities. At the end of the feeding on the hotel guests portion of the game, you received a call on the burner phone from Jackie, who you had not contacted per your benefactor's instructions. But she picked you up in a limousine and told you some more useful information about your new condition, such as the fact that In order for you to sleep safely, the room needs to be completely 100% light proof, pitch black. Even indirect sunlight, the tiniest amount will hurt. She also told you that staying awake in the daytime is kind of not an option. It's extremely hard, and you basically can't do it. So even if you're out of the light, you're going to just become dead bodies when the sun comes up. So you need to make sure you're in a safe place where no one's going to find you. She's taking you to a place like that right now, but on the way, that white van with the Second Inquisition in it appeared behind you again. Now, when we last left off, Marsh had refused the pistol that Marcus had given him, so Sam has 2 pistols. Terry has 1. Marsh has none. And Jackie has asked you guys to please shoot at the van because they're chasing you.
Marsh,
so
did Marsh refuse the gun, or was it me?
No, I did, because...
Okay.
I mean, I can use them, but, I mean, they're not really my thing.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. Now, did anybody want to say or do anything quickly before we get into the shooting at the van scene? Or any questions, anything I forgot?
Nope. I think we're still. I'm still at 2 hunger. Someone's at 1, and March is at 0.
Yeah, Marsh killed a
I'm
guy,
at
so
1.
he's at 0. Sam did not kill a guy, so she's at 1. And Terry didn't feed at all,
So I'm at
so
2.
you're at 2, which is where you were at when you woke up. Yeah, we'll deal with stains, which is something you gain from your actions, in a little bit. The game recommends doing that at the end of a session, but they also assume that this whole thing is 1 session and it's 2 for us. So I'm gonna address stains when you guys go to sleep for the day, which will be soon if you survive the car chase. Which right now there is a white van barreling down on the back of your limousine. You have the windows, you have the sunroof. The back windshield does not roll down, so you got to use the windows or the sunroof. If any of you want to take up Jackie's call to action and shoot at the van.
Yeah, I'll play. But instead of rolling the window down, I'm just gonna shoot through the rearview. Wait, I ask, is the back window bulletproof?
Good question. Jackie says yes, it is.
They didn't make me hang out of this. Okay. Marsh, were you sitting in the middle? Who was sitting in the middle?
I don't think this time we specified.
Yeah, we had a detailed conversation about who was sitting where in the SUV when Marcus picked you guys up, but we never talked about it for the limousine.
Yep, we just piled in. It's a limousine. I'm assuming it's got like 2 bench seats, so we're down the side, so we're pretty free to move.
Okay. Well, there's a sunroof then, right? Or a moonroof.
Yeah, you can pop out there.
All right. I go, Marsh, hold my legs, don't let me swing out. I open the sunroof, and I stand up and start getting people.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack, which I think you have a pre-calculated attack on your character sheet.
Yes. So 4 dice plus 2 damage. Okay. And I got 2 blood dice. And I forget, 0s are crits, right? Or 10s are crits?
Yeah, 10s are, well, I think you have to get 2 for it to, 2 of them for it to be a crit, but yeah.
Okay.
And you need a 6 or higher to be a hit.
I got 2 successes.
Okay. So you miss. This van is now like unmistakably chasing you. It's the wee hours of the morning. The limousine is speeding through the city streets like crazy. This van is barreling down on you guys, desperate. They're not shooting back, but they're clearly desperate not to lose the limousine. They're taking corners on 2 wheels, trying to keep up with you guys. Unfortunately, the limousine isn't that fast. So the fact that the van is, top heavy is counterbalanced by the fact that it doesn't have to go that fast to keep up with the freaking limousine. So Terry, that attack does not hit. Does anyone else want to take a shot?
Yeah, absolutely, I will. So I'm looking up the attack. So it is. So I do have the skill in firearms. Do I combine that with dexterity?
Yeah, I think so. But also, you have a pre-calculated attack on page 2 of your character sheet. It's for 5 dice.
Oh yeah, so I do. Yeah, so that's my firearms firearms plus dexterity. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Well, I don't think. Oh yeah.
And 1 hunger.
Okay.
Okay, that is gonna be.
Remember, the hunger is 1 of your 5 dice, not in addition to your 5 dice.
Yes.
Okay.
2 successes. A 1/1, not on the hunger dice.
Okay. You also miss. This limousine is taking the corners too quick.
I'll spend a willpower. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the 2 vehicles moving back and forth, taking corners, and the wind in your shot. It's just, even for Sam, it's a bit much, and you don't even know what you hit.
All right, all good. I am gonna spend a willpower to re-roll 3 dice, right? Or
Yeah,
is
you've
it
got
3 dice for 1 point of willpower?
Is it?
Yes, 3 regular dice.
Okay.
Copy
Not
that.
I'm going to. So I keep my successes, and I can re-roll the other dice that I did not get successes on.
As long as they're not hunger dice.
Okay, so I can re-roll 2 of my dice.
Okay. Yeah, Gus. So this will be your, your 2-fist in it. So the other gun.
Kimbo.
I add 1 success for a total of 3 successes now out of 5.
Okay, you still have not hit.
Really?
Yeah, both of your shots go wide. I mean, it's a speeding van, and you're shooting out of a speeding limousine. It's hard to hit it.
Okay.
It's not an ideal shooting situation.
All right.
Marsh, do you want to try and do anything at this time? You don't have a gun.
No. So do we know where we're going?
She has mentioned to you that she's taking you to a place called the Red Star, which is a local hangout for some of the kindred in the area. And it's basically set up as a temporary shelter. It's a place for people like you who need to crash and either don't have a place or can't get to their place right now.
Do I know where that is?
Let me see.
Oh yeah, what part of
if
LA
there's
we're in?
any possibility of you knowing where that is. Marsh, you might have... Let's have an intelligence plus streetwise roll.
Okay.
Which for you should be 5 dice.
Yep.
Yeah, 5 dice. And I'll say if you get if they're all 5 successes, you know where this place is.
Well, they are definitely not all 5 successes. I got a whopping 1 success.
Okay. You feel like you may have heard this place's name in passing at some point, but it's a big city. There's a lot of hotels and crash pads around.
Yeah.
You don't know it.
Okay. I have 2 questions.
Before we go into you, Cody, I want to know if Jason was going to follow that up with anything.
Yeah, is there... What else is... I'm trying to think. Is there, like, anything I could throw at this van? Like, is there maybe, like, a champagne bottle or something back here?
There's definitely a champagne bottle, and if you would rather throw a champagne bottle of unknown value rather than using the gun that you were handed originally, that is a thing you can definitely do.
Yeah. That is a thing I am doing. I'm grabbing that champagne bottle, and I'm gonna try and make an aimed. I want to try and throw it to their tires.
Okay.
Or at least one of their tires. What am I rolling for this?
That's a good question. It's not unarmed, but it's also not a pistol. I would think.
Yeah.
I would say dexterity plus brawl is how I'd call this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not the worst. Ain't great, but
Yeah, it's definitely not strength, aiming for a tire like that.
eh.
Before you tell me the result, I will.
Give me a
I will.
sec, because I got. I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay, but again, before you do, I want to say something that Marsh would have probably been able to feel out before throwing this thing.
Yeah.
I called it dexterity because you made a called shot for the tire. If Marsh just wanted to heave a champagne bottle at the van in general, I'd let you use strength instead, which would add 2 more dex.
No, I'm sticking. I want to take out one of their tires.
Okay.
So, and I have some confidence here.
All right.
Sorry, I'm
I have
pulling
so
these
many
out so I can
ideas.
keep them and re-rolling these 2. I'll take that. So I have, out of my 6 dice, I have 3 successes and I got 2 crit rolls.
Okay, so
Nice.
you miss the tire. This is actually pretty hard to hit the van. I don't think any of you guys have rolled more than 3 successes. There's
I mean, technically that's like 5 successes, but or whatever. 5 successes plus a
Oh wait,
crit.
is that how crits works? They double the hits?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No, the crits just count as 4.
Each
They
crit
count as
counts
what?
as 2?
Each crit count as 2, but that's why you need to confirm them, right? So,
What do you mean confirm them?
well, that's why you need 2. So two crits become 4 total successes.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Then
yeah, I get
that
it.
would be 7 successes.
Then you have hit. The target for hitting this van is 5. So yeah, you blow out the front tire with your 2 crits. You got Terry and Sam jostling for space in the moonroof, just like probably bumping each other's elbows. And then
Yeah.
Marsh, you didn't say, but I'm just gonna assume you go out the window instead of the moonroof.
What?
Yep, and
love
just
that
huck it.
thing.
Your bullets do nothing. The champagne bottle blows out a tire, and the van starts skidding. But it's still after you. It's still after you.
Okay.
Wow.
It's not
Yeah, they're
gonna.
gonna
I mean, they don't really have time to stop and change the tire.
Nope.
Like, I figure they're not going to give up, but they're going to drive a lot shittier.
That's correct, and they're not making the turns as well. The van doesn't. It might be slowing down. It's taking more of the van's horsepower to keep this speed up. Again, it's chasing a limousine, so you're.
Yeah, if we were in something a little more,
Aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there? Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
Is it a pretty crowded LA street? I imagine it can't be if we're literally shooting. Like, there can't be that many people around.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not crowded at all. I don't know how much time you've spent in LA, Cody, but like a little bit, like a couple hours before sunrise is the most deserted time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's never a time when everyone's asleep, but I mean, I've driven through Hollywood at 3 a.m. and not seen another car.
I walked through Hollywood at 3 a.m.
Unadvisable, but I've done that too.
Yeah.
Because I worked there.
Okay. Well, then the whole shooting a civilian car to crash into it, like, is probably off the table. In that case,
Yeah.
I'll take Marsh's idea and ask, hey Jackie, do you have like an extra gas can or something flammable?
No, I do not have an extra gas can in the interior of my limousine. Also, Marsh, you owe me $400.
Just shoot out their windshield. Jeez.
I would like to.
Hold on, Cody. Do you want to actually do anything? I'm just keeping to a general turn order here.
Oh yeah, of course. But I just want to say, if there's a bottle of vodka in here, I grab it and hand it to Terry.
Yeah, like, is this gonna be enough? Is what I ask her. Or yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Improvised explosives are really not my strength.
You pick up that vodka bottle,
theoretically.
You pick up that vodka bottle, and Jackie yells, $70.
Yeah, whatever. And I pop it. I assume it's like Kirkland Grey Goose, like a full handle.
That's
and because that's about $70.
A couple steps up from Grey Goose if it's $70.
For it's not the point.
It's also possible that Jackie doesn't know how much money is worth because she's so rich.
Yeah, and I rip off
Sky.
part of my shirt, and I was like, you have to at least have a lighter in here. So
Oh, do I have a lighter? I don't know that I do.
She's like, of course I smoke. I'm a vampire. And she pulls out her cigarette lighter.
I mean,
yeah, and I light this. And I go, who do you think has the better? I think I have the better arm, but who has the better aim? That's what I ask. That's kind of me asking, is it going to be a dex and brawl check?
To throw it at a tire?
No, throw it. I just want to smash it against their windshield.
If you're just aiming for anywhere on the van, then I'll let you use strength and brawl.
Oh, I'm doing it. I get 7 dice. I don't even have 7 dice right now.
So if you get a really high roll, then I'll say you hit the windshield. Otherwise, you'll just hit the van in general. But you're lighting it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally know how to make a Molotov, and this totally is how it works. That's what video games taught me.
Sure,
the rackets need to be soaked in and cured beforehand or anything like that.
No. Science.
1, 2. Okay, I'm gonna use a will point to reroll 3.
Okay.
Okay, I have 4. No, I have 3 successes. Damn it. I gotta roll one more dice.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. I got 4 successes. Let's go.
4 successes?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it takes 5 to hit the van. Did you roll any 1s?
I rolled a 1-1.
Okay.
Are you talking about a crit? Or are you talking
was it on your hunger die?
No.
No, yeah, there's a crit fail or a bestial failure, which you can get even if you succeed, if you get a couple of 1s, but you only got a 1. You only got 1, then you're fine.
Yeah, I thought it was if you crit with the hunger dice, using one of the hunger dice, that's when the bestial.
No, the failure is the 1 only on the hunger die.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that definitely didn't happen. It was.
Yeah, if you get a crit success on your hunger die, then something messy happens. You succeed, but with a consequence.
Yeah. So you light this $70 bottle of vodka, maybe $70 bottle of vodka. You throw it. You got a rag stuffed in there. There's nothing like corking up the neck of the bottle. So you hurl it, and there's just vodka on fire, just spraying everywhere as you throw this thing. Some of it drops on the back, the trunk of the limousine itself, and it smashes on the street in front of the van, and which drives right through it. They're, not damaged.
It doesn't even swerve.
I mean, they might swerve if they had all their tires.
Okay.
The van's reaction time is a little bit diminished from losing one of the tires.
Okay.
All right, Sam, what's up with you?
All right. Is there a way? Let's see. Is there a way for where we are that I can use my investigation skills to suggest a different route, to suggest like, oh, make a sharp, a series of sharp turns right here, and that will, they won't be able to follow us since they're partially disabled?
Give me, I'll say, if you can do you don't have Streetwise as a skill.
No, but I have investigate.
I'm going to say that doesn't cut it.
Okay.
In order to suggest a route, you need to know this area, and that would be represented by Streetwise.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not native to LA in this story. All right. Okay. I guess I don't really have anything else I can do except try to take another shot, and I will go for the windshield.
Okay.
So I will attempt that one more time. All right, and that's not going to succeed. I only get one success, and that is indeed a crit failure on the hunger dice.
Okay. So you have a bestial failure.
That I do.
You fire this gun. You fire your gun at the van and miss for the third time. And
Second time.
No, because you shot twice the first turn.
That's true.
And you are so upset by it that you lose control of your bestial nature for a moment and actually just hurl the gun physically at the van. You have now lost one of your pistols, and as the haze clears, you suddenly realize that was fucking stupid, and you're not sure why you did it.
Yeah.
Usually
I definitely
so
look
composed.
Yeah.
Have so much
I
composure.
just look over to my left, and I'm just like, what the It's like when football players punch someone in the helmet, and then the guy who got punched out just looks at the guy like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. So yeah, Marsh, we'll go ahead and go back to you now.
What time is it?
It's after 3 a.m.
Ugh.
Like it's late enough that early risers will be getting up soon.
Yeah. Where's that?
We have a familiar.
I mean, is there any way I can, like, assist either of these two in their babies in their gunfighting?
I don't see how.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way I could bullshit teamworking. Otherwise, who's this lady we're in the car with?
Her name is Jackie, and she was sent by Marcus, who you met immediately in the alley when you woke up.
I got her name right there.
Yeah.
Hey, Jackie, so where is this place we're going? Like, specifically?
She gives you sort of a general neighborhood, which you know where it is. It's about 10 minutes from where you are, but she's instructing the driver not to drive straight there because you're being followed.
Yeah, no, I'm. Oh yeah, don't fall down, sweetie. Yeah, I'm just I'm thinking of leaping out of this car and trying to catch this van.
I have been waiting for 3 weeks for you to say that.
And I look her in the eyes and say, I just want to know where I need to go when you guys take off and get away.
She gives you a look like you're just a stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, no shit.
But she says, we'll wait for you for 5 minutes, and she gives you a cross street and an alley nearby where the car will wait for you. She does not tell you exactly where the Red Star is.
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah.
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 You're not going alone.
No, because I need you both to cover me. I need you both to draw their attention as I crawl out on the side of this damn car. How close has this van been following to us?
At this point, with the tire blown out and bullets flying at it, I'll say it's maybe like 5 car lengths back.
So, okay.
Not really.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on the. Is there a window to the front of this limo, or is that open?
It's open.
Yeah,
Jackie's been talking to the driver. Yeah.
I'm getting off here. Can y'all slow down a little bit? I need them to catch up with us. So I can catch up with them.
Jackie gives you a look and rolls her eyes, but then she nods to the driver and he takes his foot off the gas a little.
Cool. Okay, Sam, Terry, hey, I know y'all probably don't got a ton of ammo left, but just draw their attention to you shooting at them so that they don't notice me jumping onto their van right away.
Is it your intention to jump off of the limousine onto the van, or are you going to go to the ground first?
Limousine to van.
Okay.
That's more stupid and exciting.
It is. We got a Fast and Furious this. Yeah, so that's obviously... Okay. I'm going to make it a regular attack roll for you, strength plus brawl, but I'm going to increase the difficulty.
Okay.
You're going to need 6 successes to jump from the limousine to the van.
Can we aid?
Yes, you can provide cover fire out the windows. Yeah. I assume, Marsh, you're going to jump through the moonroof. Or you're going to go out the moonroof.
I'm jumping through whichever way I can.
Okay, so the way I envision this is you crawl out the moonroof onto the trunk and jump from there, while Sam and Terry provide cover fire out the windows.
That works.
So yeah, you can get a dice from them. Can you get a dice from both of them? I think you can only gain 1.
That's what I'm looking. So if any other character wants to assist another player, they can only do so if they have at least 1 dot in the skill involved. If the dice pool doesn't include a skill, any character can collaborate. Their assistance will be reflected by adding 1 die to the die pool.
I'll say, just to save time looking up rules, that you get 2 dice because they're both helping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to help with a brawl. I want to help when you are making that jump. I want to put my hand under your foot and give you an extra boost as you're jumping.
All
That's
right.
what I was gonna do. I'll just shoot at them then.
You can both do that. You can both shove Marsh off the limousine.
I was gonna suggest a Colossus Wolverine toss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fastball special.
Fastballs. Yeah, they beat me to it. Yeah. Nosferatu toss.
Fastball special is an official D&D move in the most recent Unearthed Arcana. The giant subclass barbarian.
Huh.
So how many successes do I need?
6.
Okay, I am spending a willpower to re-roll up to 3 dice.
Copy that.
So you guys can, I wish it was all of you, but...
You can also, can you do a blood surge in addition to that to get 1 extra
Yeah,
dice by
wait.
buying a hunger? Or is it either willpower or blood surge?
I think it's one or the other.
Okay.
Add 1 to... Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with this reroll.
Okay.
That's more like it. So, with 4 successes and 2 crits, I've got 8 successes.
Okay. So, Marsh, you climb out of the limousine onto the trunk. Sam leans way out of the moonroof and just shoves you off the limo. You're not even sure if she's throwing you at the van to help or just pushing you off the fucking car. Terry's shooting out the side. He's completely missing. There's windows breaking on buildings nearby. This van is lopsided from one tire dragging on the ground. The axle's starting to like make sparks. Not the axle, but like the hub of the tire is starting to make sparks on the street. And all of a sudden, this butt-ugly Nosferatu just comes flying through the air like a giant spider monkey, and you slam into the hood. You break the windshield. It completely spiderwebs. You look inside and see 3 terrified people, a man and 2 women, just "Ah!" as you're there with your monster face. You're bleeding. In fact, I'm going to just because you did that and got hit by a van, essentially, you're going to take 2 damage for that, but that gets halved to 1. Yeah, you are on the hood of the van, and you've spiderwebbed the windshield significantly enough that this van, combined with not being able to see and having 1 tire out, this van is basically useless and cannot be a chase vehicle anymore.
I mean,
All right.
Are they stopping?
They're not stopping, but they're not competent to follow the limousine anymore, especially with you still on the hood. They're not slamming on the brakes, but they're... No, you know what? No,
I
take
should
that.
have really asked first, what kind of van is this?
It's a big white unmarked van. It's full size.
I feel
Like,
like
can I get through that driver's window at all? Can I reach into the driver's window?
Before you do that, I will walk back what I just said about them not stopping, because I have rethought the moment in which a Nosferatu hits your windshield while you're driving. They definitely slam on the brakes. There's no reason why they wouldn't. They can't see at all anything other than spiderweb cracks and you. So they definitely slam on the brakes. I'm going to say with your 8 successes, you don't have to make a check to see if you can hang on, but now the van is stopped.
Okay, yeah, I want to try and smash through that driver's window and just yank the driver out of the car.
Okay. Gosh. That's a pretty significant roll. You know what? I'm going to say in the abstract of turn order here that you're not able to do that before he's already opened the door and bolted, and the other two have gone. The other 2 have gone out the back as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
I have an action I want to take, but I think it's Cody's turn next.
Yeah, Cody and Sam, or Terry and Sam, you guys are rapidly losing sight of the Marsh situation as the limousine does not stop.
Yeah, I'm getting out.
Everybody's just jumping out of moving cars?
What?
The limousine does not stop, is what I just said.
Yeah. Sam, you have the phone, right?
Yeah, I believe I do.
I'm gonna stay.
And we overheard this conversation that March had with Jackie with the cross streets, the meetup place.
Yeah, you were all there.
What are you doing?
No, actually, no. You guys were leaning out the windows. You guys were up on the moonroof shooting. You didn't hear it.
Ah,
It's okay.
I'm still going.
We'll split
Yeah.
the party, and I'm gonna shout at Sam. Just don't forget to actually hit redial this time. I'm gonna stay with them. Just make sure nothing
okay.
shady happens.
Classic Terry.
All right. Yeah, Sam is going towards the action. I'm like, this is not going to be like a wild jump. This is going to be like an acrobatics move where I'm just going to
roll out.
I'm not going to so much roll out as I'm going to just sort of do like a little hoist onto the roof and run down the back. Try to make like a light jump down over the roof, down the trunk, and land, and as a running jump.
Okay, dexterity plus athletics, please.
All right.
This is going to be a lot easier than trying to jump from one moving vehicle to another. So I'm going to just call this a 3 difficulty.
All right. Oh, for Pete's sake. Well, on the one hand, I only got 2 successes. And on the other hand, I got another bestial failure. So, Sam's not having a good time.
Sam has had a number of incidents this night.
This is the third bestial failure, second of the night, third of Sam's last
Second
half
of the
hour
in-game night, or third of the in-game night. Yeah.
Yes.
What represents a bestial failure in this circumstance? There are no people for you to maim.
I mean, a face plant?
Yeah, I guess that's all
I feel
it
like
is.
road rash.
Yeah, I was about to say that exact phrase. You got significant road rash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you stand up looking similar to Marsh.
Ha! All right.
Yeah, so go ahead and I'll give you 2 damage for that as well.
Okay.
Which is not aggravated damage, so it means it's halved for the kindred.
Okay.
And then okay, so Marsh is on the hood of a van that the guys have just vacated. Sam is failing at tucking and rolling. Terry is still in the limo driving away. What's happening next? Anybody can jump in.
Marsh, like, knowing where I gotta be in like 5 minutes, wants to take a quick look through this fucking van.
That was my thought exactly.
Is there anything in here that looks vaguely like something I should snatch and bring with me?
No, because when the people ran, you saw the 2 in the back grabbed laptop computers that they'd had set up in the van and took them with them. There is nothing in here that you can quickly glance at and say, I should take that.
Man, I can't even larceny it.
You can steal the van if that's what you want to do.
No, I don't. It's a piece of shit. It's one of its tires is all fucked up and its windshield's fucking dead.
And whose
What am I
fault
gonna do
is
with this
both of
thing?
those things?
I'm not even sure I can drive.
Can vampires drive? Is that a vampire skill?
No, I don't have a drive or pilot skills, so
Oh, really? I do.
yeah. See,
Well, as a storyteller here, I would say that those skills would only be useful for like tricky driving, and that it is a common assumption that almost every adult can drive a car normally.
Yeah.
well, in that case, I just want to trash whatever they left,
Okay.
And then-
yeah.
then take off towards the meet and greet.
Okay.
I am While Marsh is checking out the van, I want to try to go after whoever is the closest one of the fleeing attackers.
Oh, not a chance. They
Nope.
ran out. They ran back from where the van is, and you were in a limousine pulling way ahead of the van. If Marsh can't catch them, there's no way you can catch them.
All right.
And Marsh isn't trying to catch them. So.
Okay. Then I would like to do a investigate roll on the van.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, but by the time you jumped out of the limo, you were a block ahead of where the van was. So yeah, you'd have to cross that distance and then catch the guys. But yeah, you can get to the van.
Okay. Yeah, I limp angrily and painfully, wiping, I don't know, not human blood off my face. And having a bad time. All right, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I get all my successes. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I will. That is 1. Actually, I need more dice. Sorry. I've already got 4 successes, including 1 critical success. And then I have 1 more success.
You're investigating.
2 more successes after that. So that was, yeah, I have a 9 on investigate, and that is a total of 6 successes, including 1 critical success. Not on my blood dice. I investigate the fuck out of this van.
Cool. That's a significant.
Now I roll good.
That's a significant number of successes, but the problem is I already described them taking everything with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you find tucked under the passenger seat a backpack that Marsh did not notice because it was black and it's dark. In the backpack, you find a bunch of cables and hard drives.
Well,
Okay. Can I ask
well, did
if I have, really quickly, just on the investigation check, is there anything I notice about the van itself, like any clue as to where it may be garaged or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Just a van. What were you going to say, Jason?
Did we just miss each other in, like, my leaving the van and her arriving at the van?
No, I imagine her investigating the van while you're trashing it.
So, like, the moment she gets there, what the fuck are you doing here? I did this bullshit so y'all could get away.
And I just slap him on the back like, you're doing great. Oh.
Yeah, no, we gotta go. We got a place to be in like 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. We gotta move.
I just like hold up a finger like, I did not come this far. I am not leaving here without some. Oh, and that's when I find the backpack. See? I put it on.
When I looked under that seat, there was nothing there.
Well, that's why I jumped out of the limo.
I guess it's a good thing you came.
Yep. That's me, really killing it tonight. Oh.
Says Marsh, knocking the back off a seat.
Well, I mean, I figure they've got like something going on in the back. You know, they probably got like stuff or like whatever.
There's some candy bars for sure. Candy bars back there. There's like little.
I'm stomping on those candy bars.
It's like little makeshift desk that they put the laptops on when they're doing their guy in a van thing. And
yeah, I totally broke that.
Yeah, and you probably broke the back off the passenger seat, and that's why you didn't see the backpack. It was just you were just too busy. The interior of the van is black. The backpack is black. It's nighttime. You didn't see it. Also, you never rolled investigation on it.
It was
because you told me there was nothing here. Yeah. Let's get moving.
It's true.
All right, let's go. Move out.
There was nothing there until Sam rolled 9 successes.
Hell yeah.
Whatever it was.
6 successes out of 9.
Still nuts.
There is one thing for all the special skills Sam has that is really the one she's got.
So Terry, after both Marsh and Sam have leapt out of the limousine, you're sitting there in the back with Jackie in silence as you drive around a corner and then another corner, and then eventually the driver stops in the pre-designated alleyway, and the two of you are just sitting in a limo together. And she says to you, "So how long have you known them?"
I think 2 hours.
Not friends of yours, then?
One of them maybe. The other one definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horrible thing to say about Sam.
Yeah.
Terry, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer me with the first thing that comes out of your mouth. Do you think we should actually wait for them?
Yeah. I think we should.
Fair enough.
So, how often do open firefights happen in the middle of the street?
I haven't seen it happen in some time.
And
how often do you grab other people's liquor and just throw it?
Actually, a lot. But yeah, that's besides the point.
She raises an eyebrow at that.
Yeah, I was an interesting person before this, and now I'm an even more interesting not person, I feel like.
She looks uncomfortable at that comment.
So how long have you been embraced? Or was it until your embrace?
We call ourselves the Kindred.
Okay.
It's been about 25 years for me.
I look at her and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, she looks 35 at the oldest.
Yeah, I'm not even 25. I don't think Terry was even technically 25. It's longer than I've been alive. With a childish chuckle.
Alive. Interesting choice of words.
Well, they did grab me after my 23rd birthday, so yeah. That is literally what I meant.
Marcus tells me he found you in an alley behind a restaurant.
Yeah, we should really get those guys busted for having corpses in their freezers. 'Cause fuck those guys.
It'll never work. The Second Inquisition is... It's the deep state. It's the government. It's the shadow government. You can't call the cops on them. They're everyone.
We're like immortal creatures of the night. How do we not also have the deeper state?
Some of us do.
Oh,
You're
okay.
talking about the Camarilla, and trust me, dealing with them is not the best idea.
Look, before this, I just spent my time breaking up bar fights and stopping muggings in alleyways. So I don't know anything about what's going on.
So
But
you used to help people.
I still plan on helping people.
You didn't help your friends.
Yeah, I did.
I saw them jump out of the limo and you stayed in it. That's what
Jackie, you just told me you were going to leave. You just told me. Because I'm here, I'm helping.
She smirks and does one of these. And at that moment, Marsh and Sam find the limo in the alley.
Knock, knock, knock.
Woo! Ah, they're back.
Yeah.
Well, she lets you guys into the limo, and
Nothing like a little nighttime run.
Still have
yeah.
some
Well,
dirt
we're
on
running.
you.
We're running out of nighttime, so we better get moving. No more jumping out of the car, please.
Yeah,
I will
we're-
try to restrain myself.
Yeah, the driver picks up the pace, and very shortly you guys find yourselves at the Red Star. It's butting up against a freeway overpass. It's like a 2-story, dingy-looking bar. It's the kind of place where you order beer or whiskey, or beer with whiskey in it, and that's it. As you enter the place, that's their version of Jack and Coke. It's just, they don't have Coke, so they just use beer. As you enter the place, a no-nonsense brunette wearing jeans and leather introduces herself as, oh, we got a reaction on jeans and leather from Terry.
Yeah, 'cause she's wearing a jean jacket with leather pants, not what everyone else is.
She introduces herself as Sage, a fellow kindred, and leads you to a windowless storeroom beneath the bar, where there are hospital mattresses with worn sheets over them, and she indicates that you can rest here. You guys, at this point, we're going to go over the stains and possible humanity loss. I'm going to give Marsh a stain for attacking the body immediately in the freezer.
Oh.
And I'm going to give Marsh another stain for killing a guy.
Oh, yeah, I know I got that.
Yeah. So I believe those are the only 2 things. Unless I'm forgetting something from last time, I don't think you earned any more stains.
I attacked a guy on a bestial failure, but thanks to Marsh, actually, I didn't kill him. So I
You did
think
not
that
kill him.
means I am good.
Yeah, you do not
Didn't
earn...
catch- Yeah.
You do not earn a stain. A stain is when you kill someone or when you make a particularly vile decision.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry, I think you're also sitting pretty.
I didn't do anything all night that was aggressive.
Yeah. You know what? I am a little torn because while you... No, I wouldn't give you a stain for it. But you did act as the accomplice, which, given your own refusal to... Well, given your own refusal to drink, helping these guys find victims strikes me as something that might be a little bit against your moral code. But if Sam doesn't get one for not killing a guy, then you don't get one for not drinking from anybody. Yeah, and you guys have a little time in this room potentially to talk or whatever before sunrise comes, and you pretty much immediately pass out.
I will immediately check out my haul from the van, see if any of these... we don't have our phones, right? That was taken away from us. We don't have any kind of electronics. I have the burner, but I'm assuming the burner is probably not...
It's just a cheap flip phone. Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
do
exactly.
computer stuff with
It's
it.
not. Yeah, it's not a smartphone. So we have I have the hard drives, and honestly, I mean, if any of you guys want to look at them, that's fine. But I'll just go through them in a little bit more detail to see what details I can pick up. Just obviously, I can't attach them to anything, and I'm not going to offer them up to our hosts.
I mean, are you offering them to us to take a look over?
If you guys want to take a look, I'm just going to spread it out on my
sure.
cot, and you're welcome to come
Sure.
over and look at it too.
You've
Is there
got-
any labels? Is there, how many
Yeah,
have I got?
You've got
This
4 or
looks
5
like-
little ones like this
Okay.
that are unlabeled. Well, they have labels, but the labels are generic like numbers like B3 and like C7. And then the rest of what's in the backpack is battery packs and like adapter cables and just general tech stuff. Obviously, this backpack once held a laptop. Like there's a spot for a laptop to be carried in it as well. But that laptop is not present.
I have an idea.
Yeah, Marsh is going to really intently look through that bag, like pull out the adapter cables. Yeah, like look at what kind of adapter it is. Put those back. Look at the, compare them to the battery packs, and take a look at the whatever the circuit boards or whatever you got, and look those over and go, yep, this is definitely a bunch of nerd shit.
Actually, go ahead and roll me.
I am not going to allow you to crack the hard drive open to look at the circuit board.
Well, that he wouldn't have done that.
I know.
Then he would have just looked at the hard drive and gone, yep.
Roll me intelligence plus technology, Marsh.
Plus technology?
Yeah,
oh,
you have a point in it.
Yeah, I do.
Hey.
Wow. Wow, I got a whopping 2 successes.
So you don't know what all these adapters and cables are, but you have had some difficulty yourself in the past, and you recognize that a couple of these are for connecting like 4-year-old MacBook ports to standard like PC drive ports, like USB cables to Thunderbolt, and yeah.
That's significantly more information than I expected Marsh to get out of that.
Yeah, you don't. Marsh probably doesn't know the name of a Thunderbolt port, but you're like, oh yeah, this is for my old white computer, and this is for the black hard drive. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
At best.
Yeah.
At best.
So, nice. I would like to do something.
Do it.
So, I'm gonna leave my room, and I'm going to look for Jackie.
Jackie left as soon as she dropped you guys off.
Okay, then I'm going to introduce myself to the brunette in leather.
Sage. Yeah.
I'm going to ask her, hey, do you guys have a laptop I can borrow? Oh, also, this is an important question. Oh, is she a kindred? And as in, is she not using the blush of life already, or?
She is a kindred. She told you that when she introduced herself.
Okay. Yeah. Then I just say hi. Do you guys have a laptop I can borrow?
We can try and get you one tomorrow night, but it's only a little while until sunrise. You're not going to have time to use one.
I mean, I just really want to figure out how much time has passed, and if my family was looking for me, how long it's been, anything like that.
She tells you the date, and I think we determined last week it's been about 9 months since you were.
Oh, I'm lying.
You're lying?
I'm lying about why I want a laptop.
Well, she doesn't know, and she just tells you the date.
Yeah, you guys sure you don't have any other computers, like an old desktop or something?
We actually don't have internet access here anyway, because it's kind of like a safe house.
Oh. Anything would be nice, but it'd be better than nothing.
Well, I'll see what I can find you tomorrow night.
Okay. And I slink back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sage.
If you don't mind me joining your scene,
Okay.
I just come up behind Terry as he's chatting, so I follow him up the stairs and just, kind of give him a friendly pat on the shoulder and say, we would really appreciate your help on that tomorrow. We should probably find some better burner phones for ourselves as well. But we can talk with you about that in the morning. And
I mean, the evening.
Yeah, I should be used to that. It's going to take a while to adjust, but we really appreciate you helping us out here.
You all return to the basement storeroom.
Mm-hmm.
And you have whatever conversations you guys have with each other, or maybe none, I don't know. Maybe you have a drink. You got here, maybe around 3:30, 3:45 in the morning. It's summer, so the sun's going to come up pretty early, but you have a little time to chill before you become immobilized. But eventually, you all start to slip away. It feels almost like dying again. It's like some external force is just sort of sucking the life or the unlife out of your corpses, and you collapse. Terry, after you lose consciousness, you find yourself in a familiar place. You're in a stinking, urine-infested alleyway full of garbage, rotten food, and who knows what other vile odors. There's a stranger leaning casually against a wall. You can't read his face at all. But he says to you, "You're doing good work, kid." You're not sure if he's on your side, if he's luring you into some kind of trap.
Yeah, I go, I'm lucid. It's like a lucid dream, yeah.
Yeah, and this is you're realizing that you're reliving your embrace. You're reliving what happened to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I'm like, I remember that. Why does it sound familiar? And I like look up, and I'm like, I'm strong. I can take him this time. I'm not gonna let him get away. And I start running, and I jump onto the wall, and then like do a Superman punch off the wall to try and grab him. Yeah.
So you make this monumental physical effort to sort of change your part of the scene, to change your half of what happened. But you see no change in his half of the scene. Even as you come flying at him with your wall bounce Superman punch, he still stays leaning placidly against the wall. He starts talking to you about your community work and your speeches. Your blows rain down on him with just no effect whatsoever. He doesn't answer your questions. He doesn't respond to your blows. He laughs. And then, just like last time, he attacks you again. Things become blurry, euphoric. You feel as though you are on some kind of drug, but it's something much more visceral and vivid than you ever experienced from any real drug. And when the haze clears and the euphoria starts to dim, you are dropped on a pile of garbage, and you feel your whole body fighting to adapt to this change that's upon you. You know that you're not yourself anymore, and the stranger just walks away. But you're still fighting. You chase him. You're ready to take his life as he has taken yours, and all of a sudden there's a white van in front of you. A group of men climb out with guns pointed at you and him. And before you can even process what's happening, you're running away. You know nothing more until all of a sudden a stake is being driven through your heart. And then you guys all awaken the next night. But before we move on from there, we're going to take our break. All right, guys. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. It's 9:51. I guess I'll see you about 10 or so. And thank you, everyone who's watching. We'll be back soon. Okay. So you, Marsh, you were the only one to take stains, and I believe the rest is going to clear them out. But you didn't take enough to damage your humanity, did you?
Well, so about that, so I haven't checked for remorse yet. So for remorse, it says at the end of the session, every character with at least one stain will perform a remorse test, rolling as many dice as the remaining empty slots in the humanity tracker not crossed out as stains. If there are no empty slots, the player will still roll one die. And if I get at least one success, or if I get a success amongst all the dice rolled, I don't lose. There's no further consequences. But if I roll no successes, that means that I have found a way of rationalizing my own bestial actions and fail to see anything fundamentally wrong with them. In consequence, I lose one humanity point for the next session.
Yeah.
And then all stain is removed. So I don't know if you want to do that now or wait.
That's what I was getting at. This being the starter set, this moment is where they recommend doing the remorse tests, and then after your remorse test, we will reset everyone's stains to 0.
Okay. So I get one die because I've got 2 stain but 3 blank spots on my humanity tracker.
All right.
Yay! I felt remorse for killing that guy and then eating that dead guy. So I don't lose humanities.
Okay. So yeah, your stains will now go to 0. You don't lose any humanity. Terry, but
like when we wake up, we make a rouse check, right?
Yeah, we do. That was the next thing I was going to say. But I was also going to point out Terry still hasn't fed. Make your rouse checks, and we'll see how that hunger dice pool is doing. I think Marsh was at 0, right?
I am at 0.
Sam at 1 and Terry at 2, but now we're doing the rouse checks.
At 3.
You're at 3 now?
Sir.
I got a success. Does that mean I don't get more hungry?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember how this bullshit vampire dice notation works. If you roll a blank face, you take an additional hunger dice. I think that means that equates to a 2.
So
if
you succeed or crit succeed, you don't increase your hunger by 1.
Okay.
And I got a 6, baby.
Okay, so Terry got an extra die. What about Sam?
I rolled a 9. So I think blank is actually a failure.
Yeah, blank is going to be the 1 through 5. Okay. So if you roll a 1 through 5,
got it.
Your hunger goes up.
Yeah. All right. So all good. Still just a little peckish.
I missed Taco Bell.
So yeah, we had a long conversation about Taco Bell while you were gone, Sarah.
Oh, I missed the Taco Bell conversation.
Yes, I was explaining to him that I only eat Taco Bell when you're out of town.
Yes.
Also, Sarah didn't see me stuffing my face with Taco Bell before the stream started, so.
All good.
Not a sponsor. You guys, your eyes pop open at sundown, and you suddenly feel alert and ready to go. Your hunger is upon you again, the endless companion. You briefly reminisce about the events from last night and the vivid dreams, in Terry's case, that you experienced. The bartender from upstairs comes down and picks you up and directs you to go upstairs. He is definitely alive. You can feel his pulse and his heartbeat. This is a mortal. and for a moment you all struggle with your hunger. And then you wonder if he's into the whole deal. As you reach the ground floor, you meet with two kindred you've already met. Jackie is here, who picked you up in the limo, and Sage, who met you here. Jackie tells you, Jackie comes up to you and says, I'm glad that you made it through the day. Sage tells me you were asking about a computer.
Yes.
She pulls out a laptop. Marsh, it's a white one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably figure out which one of them cords plugs into there well.
You won't need to, Marsh. I know how to use a computer.
And say I didn't.
Well, she sets it down and then says, I have not yet heard from Marcus since last night.
Mm.
But you may use my computer. I have to make a few phone calls. And she walks away, leaving you with the computer and with Sage, who stays around you guys. Sage is now in denim pants and a leather vest.
Still hot.
Yeah. She likes to change it up.
Yeah.
All right.
I asked Sam, what are the odds that this is actually a bug that'll totally fuck us? That's what I say, like with Sage present, but definitely to Sam.
I would say it would probably not be a bad idea to perhaps. It's unlikely that it would be a tracker. I think that it's entirely possible it might be some kind of release a virus and destroy Jackie's computer. But I feel like I don't feel like that's very likely.
Do Macs have safe boot mode? Like, is that a thing on Macs?
Kind of. But Sage says...
That's Marsh. She's the tech expert.
Again, there's no Wi-Fi here. There's no way that the computer is going to be able to send out any type of tracker or location signal. There's no connectivity.
That was my thought as well. We'd kill the Wi-Fi anyway.
Yeah.
It could brick the laptop, though.
It could.
That's okay. Jackie can afford more laptops.
Well, Sage says it's okay, and I'll go ahead
Sage.
and.
I like the way you think. I think I like you.
Let's see what we got. So I will go ahead, turn on the laptop, and when it boots, I am going to do a quick scan just to not obviously search the laptop for files, but just sort of poke around and take a quick, like, all right, let's just make sure everything's closed, and I'm looking to see if anything was left open, if, make sure the Wi-Fi's off.
One
and I'm
second.
like taking a look to see if I can pull the last
Sarah,
search terms.
One second.
Yeah.
Do you have the air conditioner on where you are?
No. Doors open though.
I'm getting an overwhelming background rumble whenever you talk.
It's just her authority.
I didn't realize it was from you until you stopped talking.
You know what? I am fidgeting with this bottle of soda. Maybe I'm rattling.
No, it's white noise. It's like an air conditioner or a jet engine. Honestly, I thought someone was being strafed. Well, don't worry about it. As you were.
Sorry. Yeah, I will unobtrusively do an investigation on the laptop. If I'm not flaunting it, but I am. If Sage is paying attention, I'm sure she realizes what I'm doing.
What are you doing? What are you looking for?
I am just casually like, before I plug everything in, let's make sure everything's closed. And I open up the files and just take a quick skim through any, like, what file folders are, have most recently been open on this machine. I'm opening up the internet browser to make sure the Wi-Fi's off, and then just sort of looking at like what's been bookmarked.
There's
You can still check
no
history too.
there's no role needed for this. Sage is just sort of like looking at you with crossed arms and a raised eyebrow as you very obviously go through shit on the computer. There's nothing on the computer.
Yeah, I figured.
Jackie has given you a blank laptop that has an operating system, and that's it.
I would have had less respect for her if she had not. All right. Satisfied that this is a blank machine, I will go ahead and plug in the first one. I mean, I can plug in all of them in order if you want to just do all 4 at once. Do I need to roll investigation?
It is going to be beyond your capabilities to open any of the folders on any of these drives. They have multiple folders and they are all password locked.
Try I hate vampires.
Well, these are not from the vampires. This is
Spell it.
I H number 8 V at symbol MP1I 3 S.
Nope.
Damn.
I close it. I must have somebody who
4 attempts remaining.
4 attempts were remaining on a hard drive? Jesus.
Yeah, I close it, and I'm like, I must know somebody who can take care of this.
Jackie probably knows somebody who can take care of it also. But this could also be our little ticket into whatever bigger club they got going on.
I was thinking the same thing. Sage, is there any way, really quickly, storyteller, can you remind me, did we decide how long it's been for Sam since I was turned and staked and woke up again?
We did not decide, and you can decide on your own. It is not super relevant to my needs. We did decide that for Terry it's been 9 months, which I think was just based on when Cody's real life birthday is.
I'll say probably about 4 to 6 weeks. Just, and I am going to turn to Sage and say, listen, we don't want to take advantage of your hospitality. I don't know if there's any way we can find the person who turned me made me indicated that there might be it was for a purpose, that there was a plan in place, and it was an invitation. Is there any way I can find that person? I imagine there's not some sort of, I don't know, maybe there is an internet, a vampire darknet where I can track somebody down. How would I go about finding?
Honey,
yeah.
I'm going to tell you something that might be a little disappointing, but also a little obvious. Vampires tend to be dramatic about things.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Point at Marsh.
Letting you know, just because some guy told you that there was a plan and a purpose and he was going to give your life meaning right before he drank your blood and turned you into one of the undead, doesn't mean that you need to track him down and ask him to define your personality for the rest of your eternal existence.
I appreciate the advice. That said, I would still very much like to meet him again, or his friends. He seemed to know quite a bit about me.
Well, I'm afraid I don't know who it was that sired you.
I am going to see if there's like a bar napkin or something on the and a pen or a pencil somewhere on the bar, and I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to write in let me see, what languages have I got? I've probably got, I think it was Pashto and Farsi. I'm going to write in Farsi, just if you can read this. You probably know. And I'm just going to hold it up. I'm like, where would I find people who can write like this?
What's that?
I don't know.
Where would I find people who have an interest in? Let me put it like this. This is Farsi. This is one of the main languages.
I know what Farsi is.
Mhm.
Do you think that because I'm a vampire, I'm from space?
No.
I don't know what Farsi
But
is.
I am impressed. Not a lot of people know what Farsi is.
It's a major world language.
That it is. I'm very pleased to see.
Me and my American education have no idea what's going on.
Where would I find people who are interested in ancient history? Vampires who are interested, as a matter of course, in ancient history.
Well, a lot of vampires kind of are ancient history.
Yeah, I noticed
What is
that.
it that you're looking for specifically? You're asking me a lot of very
Knowledge.
vague questions.
Answers.
That's
mystery.
even vaguer. That's even vaguer. Please, what are you looking for?
Forget it.
So, can
And I
someone tell
walk
me what
away.
Farsi is?
Look, if you're looking, it's a language.
Mm-hmm.
For what, though?
The people I knew who spoke and wrote in Farsi were Iranian.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
right.
But yeah, as you get frustrated and walk away from Sage, she calls after you. If you want something to do with yourself, you should maybe consider joining the Anarchs.
I turn around and come back. And what are the Anarchs?
They sound cringe.
We're
I
the
kick
Anarchs.
Terry under the table.
Jackie and Marcus and me and others like us, we are the Anarchs. We're not so much an organization as a movement, but you have to understand vampire culture is pretty old. And if you know how human culture tends to be dominated by the old people and the people who think in the old ways, imagine how much worse it is for people who never die. There's an ancient organization called the Camarilla that has ruled vampire kind for centuries, since the First Inquisition.
And we're
Recently-
talking about the Second Inquisition as the opposition right now. Right?
Yes, well, the opposition, the Second Inquisition is,
Wait. The Camarilla, isn't that just up the 101 a bit?
No, that's Camarillo. The
Yeah,
Camarilla,
that's what you said.
okay, she's going to look back at Terry, who seems to be the only person who can have an adult conversation. The Camarilla are the old guard of vampire society. They wear suits, they live in towers, they treat regular vampires like cattle. And for hundreds of years, they have been the one and only world government of vampires. But in recent decades, some of us have started breaking away from them. Here in LA, it's something of a free city. We've driven the Camarilla out. The Anarchs rule this place. But the Camarilla does have a presence here. And it is a constant fight to keep them from taking back over.
That sounds like something I could get a hold of or get behind, but treat us like cattle. Does that mean vampires can eat kindred can eat other kindred?
No, but they can certainly use each other and disregard each other. The same
Well,
as
that's-
humans do.
Yeah, so I mean that's just Okay.
I have noticed I seem to have a certain effect on people now. Can other vampires do that? Or sorry, can kindred do that to other kindred?
You just keep throwing out the V word.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I just did it.
It's been a busy 24 hours. I'm doing my best.
Some of them can, yes.
Interesting.
Some of us, when we use our abilities on each other, it is profoundly violent.
Huh.
Because we can resist each other in ways that humans cannot.
So I also noticed we have very different abilities. What's the cause for that?
It has to do with who your sire is and what clan they came from. These abilities are inherited through the embrace.
Is it like an encyclopedia of clans and powers? It has to be. All old people love heritage.
Perhaps a dark net who's who.
There's no dark net, like at all. That's not a thing. I can tell you.
I really think you're missing an opportunity here, but okay.
Based on, you said that you can affect people's minds?
Yes. And I've always been good at spotting things, but I feel like I've gotten better.
You're probably a warlock.
I'm a what?
That's
Like,
what we
I thought
call,
I was a
Vampire.
kindred.
Or
that's
sorry.
That's what we call the kindred from Clan Tremere. They're known as
Yo,
warlocks.
why is yours so cool, dude?
If your sire was a warlock, then that will mean that you are too. Your clan is known for a tradition of magic and occult studies.
Okay.
Studies.
Sorry if this sounds a little childish, but does that mean that Sam can sling fireballs?
Certainly not.
Ah, that's so disappointing. I'm sorry, Sam.
That's all right. I'll just attack the darkness on my own. Yeah, Sam is digging this. It's like that. This is in character. Like she is.
Please do not attack the darkness. The darkness is on our side.
I feel like, for me, I feel like Superman. Like, I can leap buildings in, like, almost a single bound. Like, 2 if I can wall jump. And, like...
you are rebel.
Oh.
Sorry, shouldn't have laughed.
What?
Is that really... like...
Sam gets to be a wizard and I'm just peasant trash?
We're the anarchs. We love peasant trash.
Yeah, but I'm not slinging fireballs.
Embrace your peasant trash, Terry.
If you prefer, the proper name of your clan is Bruja.
Oh, Bruja.
Hey.
Yeah, that's not much better.
You're a witch.
I'm just gonna call myself.
They are known for passionate belief in causes, and backing
like
up
a
that
paladin or something. Yeah.
Well, we don't really like the P word around here.
A lot of words that we don't like.
There's a whole bunch of new slurs I have to get used to not saying.
You know how everyone thinks the Inquisition was just hunting and killing people for no good reason? We were those people. And now the second Inquisition is doing it again.
Yeah. Is this a thing? We all had a similar experience where we got grabbed and I just point like my heart and just sort of right after, within minutes, within seconds.
We aren't sure what happened. We aren't sure what happened to you. It is very strange. Marcus's theory is that you guys were some kind of science experiment being studied by the Second Inquisition for some reason. We don't know any more detail than you do about that. At this point, Jackie reapproaches the group of you. putting away her phone as she comes up. Says, "It looks like someone might."
Ooh.
I've just gotten off the phone with Marcus, who spoke with Francis. And Sage goes, "Francis? I haven't heard from him in forever." Jackie turns to look at you, Terry. Says, "Based on the description that I got, I think Francis was your sire, Terry."
I'm gonna beat the ever-living tar out of him.
"Well, he would like to speak with you.
Yeah, after we throw down.
He's asked us to set up a meeting. And I highly recommend that if you go to the meeting, you do not beat the ever-loving tar out of him."
No, I think Terry really needs to get in touch with his violent side.
Yeah, rabble gonna rabble, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand. Francis has called this meeting at the Armitage Hotel.
You're right. We
And-
don't understand what that means.
Sage reacts to that. "Francis? Are you serious?"
Am I gonna need a suit?
All right, let's see. You're dying to tell us. What's the Armitage Hotel? Is it
Yep.
some sort of official safe zone or no combat, no PvP combat area? What's
You mean
going on?
VVV?
Hmm?
VVV?
We do not like
AVK.
the V word.
I remember that time, Terry. Gotta watch yourself.
The Armitage is a Camarilla stronghold here in LA. Francis was one of us. He was an anarch. I don't know why he's at the Armitage, but that's where he wants to meet you. And if you do violence at the Armitage, it's not going to be tolerated by the Camarilla because that's where they hunt.
Well, Francis sold us out. The second he embraced me, I was swarmed by feds or whatever, Inquisition. Literally moments after.
Well, I
And
imagine
he got
that
away
has-
scot-free.
Terry, that, as described in the dream sequence, that is not correct. You were both captured. He was put at gunpoint by the guys in the van as well as you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. I rescind everything.
Although
you just
it's
said.
reasonable that you might not know that since you were busy at the time.
Okay, well then I do say everything I just said.
Yeah. And Jackie will just say, from what I've heard, he was captured as well and has somehow escaped, and that has something to do with why he wants to meet you, Terry.
All right, well, I still at some point I'm gonna have to throw down with this guy. He literally killed me and ruined my life, and now I have to start a new life. I was
Terry,
enjoying beating up bums in the street.
Sorry,
Jackie
what?
looks at you and says, "I thought you were a good guy."
Now they weren't okay. Look, they were scumbags, crackheads, aggravated assaulters. I don't know. Some of them.
You were beating up homeless people? That's not vigilantism. That's just violent assault.
Well, they were committing other crimes.
I mean, at
Look,
least
Anyway,
I got paid to beat people up. You know?
I mean,
that's less
look,
horrible.
we all assault people to survive, so I mean, I'm not going to judge. I'm just, maybe don't go around saying that you were like the hero in the story. That's all I'm going to say.
I definitely was.
Terry, I fully support your plan to beat this guy up, but can we, on the condition that you hold the violence just until we get some answers?
Yeah, of course. I am civilized. Even though she just called me rabble, but you know, I am functioning person.
Oh, wait,
No.
before we go, and I'm going to reach over and just grab Marsh by the shoulders and sort of gently pull him into frame.
Into frame.
Speaking of plans, he can sneak around and be invisible, and
I take my mask off and just go, yes, so this whole situation...
Yeah, that
Yeah, put
is
that
the
back,
face of a horror.
Yeah, but what clan
Wow.
is he?
You're not going to believe me.
I don't know. We've believed a lot of crazy things, and
I don't believe you.
Cannot tell us.
You are... The street term is horror. The name of your clan is Nosferatu.
Okay, what is with this? Why do you guys get cool names?
Bruja's a cool name.
Yeah, maybe if I was surfing at the beach.
It means witch. Like, Marsh just looks at you and goes, dude, it means witch.
I said
It's
the
Spanish
same thing.
for witch.
Okay, me and my U.S. education didn't learn that, so.
Marsh is clearly the smart one of the group. He's the only one who knows how to plug in a hard drive. He's the only... He's the only one who can
When she
translate
said
Bruja.
I said that was the first thing out of my mouth.
Yeah, but nobody heard you say it. Nobody saw you
I
use
heard
the
you.
computer either.
Hmm.
Jackie and
Where do you think I
Jackie and
learned it from?
Sage. Jackie and Sage are coming away from all these interactions with the belief that Marsh is the smart one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the one that can have an adult conversation, but I'm not the smart one.
That's correct.
Yeah, Martin puts his mask back on.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I want to recall a memory more. Did I see Marsh use the blush of life?
Did you use that at the hotel earlier?
Did I? I don't think I did.
We talked about it. I don't remember if it was you or Sam. Someone talked about using it. I don't know. I'm going to say
I
no.
vaguely recall someone talking about me using it
Mhm.
and me wanting to not use it because I was already pretty hungry.
I would have said it was Sam that used it because she's the one that walked up to the desk clerk.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
but-
it was me.
I'm going to say that you didn't see it anyway, Terry. Why do you ask?
I'm asking because how do whores look when they use the blush of life? Because he looks like an alien.
He cannot disguise what he looks like.
Yeah, no, but if I want to use a touch screen or some shit, apparently.
Yeah, you have to use Blush of Life anyway to make touchscreens respond to you.
Okay, no. I'll
Which
make
I
sure
don't
to get a
think-
Galaxy Note 10. That way I can
Yep.
use the pen. Yep.
Yeah,
it's the
well,
only
I
phone
don't-
can use.
There you go. Well, I was going to say, I don't think that holds up in real life. I don't think the warmth of your finger has anything to do with whether a touchscreen works. Because styluses, but anyway.
Yeah.
That's how older touchscreen phones were.
Styluses go way back, man.
No.
I had
I meant like old in the sense of touch phones, not old in the sense of like actual technology and history. Yeah.
Anyway, so now you guys all know your clan names and your clan street names.
Yeah, so what's this hotel again?
Armitage.
It's the
Where is this
Armitage.
place?
It's on the other end of town, and it's full of fucking fascist assholes.
Well, I mean, at least it's the middle of the night, so the drive shouldn't be too bad.
Wait a second.
Yes, that's the advantage of being turned into one of the undead. Less traffic.
Well, I mean,
It is a
depending on which
serious
end of
benefit.
town.
I'm not gonna lie.
Huh?
Oh, Sage just agrees with Sam that the lack of traffic for the Kindred is a serious benefit.
How do
It's
we
been-
make money?
in LA, it's basically one of the vampire powers. It's just being able to drive without traffic.
Yeah. Fair.
I have so many questions about how our society works, but
Well,
let's get going.
A kindred can make money in many of the same ways that a human can. We just have to do it at night, and since we live so long, we can save it up for longer.
Nice.
Some people, like fascist assholes who hang out at the Armitage, figured out how to do that really well a really long time ago, and now they run society.
Apparently not all of society.
Vampire society. Kindred society. Your narrator, your storyteller keeps forgetting what word means what.
Okay.
We don't say the V word. The Camarilla has kind of circled their wagons against the Second Inquisition, and they're leaving the rest of us out to dry. They have vast resources, which they are using basically only to protect themselves. It's one of the many, many reasons why they suck dick. But if Francis is there and wants to talk to you, I can take you to him. Just be careful.
Duly noted. Are they the type, if they are also collecting bodies, are they the forceful recruitment types?
Well, they're kindred. They occasionally embrace... Oh, do you mean, are they planning to recruit you forcefully? Is that what you're asking?
You said something about treating other vampires like cattle. I was wondering just how literal you meant there.
There is no telling what depths they will sink to. But the Armitage is generally considered a safe zone. Because as I said, yes, and that's the first question I answered. As I said, they hunt there, so they will not stand for kindred violence. They don't want to scare away the cattle.
All right.
And Steve, I just kind of have a mildly out of character question. When you said across town, did you mean inland or coastal?
I've been very vague about where any of this is. Why do you ask?
I'm just curious for when I picture it in my head.
Okay. Well, I'm picturing you guys as being sort of like east end of Hollywood right now.
I was kind of picturing around like Santa Monica and the 101.
Yeah,
like, I know
that's
a gas station and not a bar, but
yeah. Well, where you're headed to is kind of like Wilshire District area.
So like Miracle Mile area?
Yeah, Miracle Mile, yeah.
Okay.
I'll come see these places soon.
Cody, our Pacific Northwest brother, thus explaining the blanket while the rest of us are wondering if it's late enough to turn on the AC.
Bro, it is like 90
All
degrees
right.
outside, but my roommate is a psycho and has the AC down to 65, so...
I wish I was there.
Yeah.
It is quite warm.
Not gonna lie, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, well, let's roll.
Are you guys going to take Jackie's ride over there?
Well, it's not like we have any money for an Uber.
Can I borrow a motorcycle?
I lean over, and this time I am just fucking with them. Like,
You guys have to have one of those.
is there a vampire darknet Uber? Sorry, kindred darknet Uber.
Yes.
Well, wait, now, just, do you call it...
I just eye contact with her, waiting to see who breaks first.
What was that, Jason?
Do you refer to them as vampires?
No, we refer to them as Jackie.
Oh, wait, I get it.
All right.
So Jackie and her nameless driver take you across LA to a nice, shiny building on a corner. It looks very glassy and trendy. It's the Armitage Hotel. It's one of those places where you have to get a ticket and go into the parking garage, even if you're not parking. You're just dropping people off. They're just being pricks about it. But you guys get inside. There's wealthy tourists with designer luggage all over the place. Most of the people here are mortals. And it's just a super rich-ass person hotel. But before you can really do much else besides walk into the lobby, a tall Asian woman approaches you. She introduces herself as Allison and shakes your hands. She is mortal as well.
Are we supposed to be blushing right now? Is what I ask.
If you like.
Are they doing it?
Marsh is wearing a full hockey mask. I'm not.
It's
terribly...
LA. It's cosplay.
Yes.
I
Allison...
mean, and as Sam is commenting on this, Marsh leans over and goes, "Yes, we definitely fit into this place. Definitely."
Cody, to your question, Allison is not a kindred. She's immortal.
Yeah, and then
so
is
she's
Jackie
not
and no, but is Jackie and Sage blushing?
Jackie and Sage did not enter the hotel with you.
Oh,
Well, Sage didn't even ride in the limo with you.
Oh, okay.
And Jackie just drove you here and pointed you the right direction.
Well, I guess I'm feeling a little embarrassed now, and I start blushing.
That's pretty good. What is this, your second night?
Yeah.
Allison, may I ask, are you a friend of Francis?
Cody, did you just blush of life?
Yeah.
You need to make a rouse check when you do that.
Yeah.
I passed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Allison nods to you, Sam, and then turns to Terry and says, "I have been sent to pick you up by your progenitor. Please follow me."
Yes.
She leads you guys to an executive elevator. Sam, you get a sense off Allison. You can definitely feel a pulse in her. She's definitely human.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something a little weird about the way she smells.
Mm.
Are you gonna blush too?
Can I do? I am not.
Okay.
If anybody looks at me, they can just assume that I'm also in more subtle cosplay. Can I do an insight check?
You don't have enough information to interpret what you're sensing.
Yeah.
But you get a sort of vaguely vampiric smell off of her, even though she definitely has a pulse.
All right. I will just file that away for the future. That's tricky because Sarah knows what she probably is, and Sam does not.
The D word? Is that what you're thinking?
No.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm curious.
As we're walking through the lobby, Marsh just kind of looks around and leans over and goes, "This place is fucking ghoulish."
Allison just sort of looks at you unamused and gets into the executive elevator. She uses a special key fob to start the thing up and go directly to the rooftop bar.
Just really quick. I make a mental note of where she puts the key fob back on her person.
Okay. Yeah, she has it in one of those stupid little purses that's not big enough for anything but a key fob.
A clutch.
Stupid little purse. So you guys arrive at the rooftop bar. It's like one of these, rich, trendy things you see on top of fancy hotels. It is full of kindred and some other mortals who smell a little bit like Allison. Yeah, there's a bartender there earning his paycheck, and you are led across the rooftop to a railing on the opposite corner where, Terry, you see that guy from the alley 9 months ago, which to you feels like just a couple days ago. And he turns to you. Ah, my prodigal child returns. I had no doubt we'd meet again. You are of strong blood. Of course you are. Welcome, you and your companions. What can I get for you?
Some answers.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
Bloody Marys it is.
Wow, really? Okay.
A kindred joke.
So are we gonna talk here, or are we gonna go find somewhere more subtle for us?
This dude is fully sitting down at a table and waiting for you to join him. This whole the whole rooftop bar is filled with kindred.
Okay.
Is
Take a
there?
seat.
Yeah. Really quick, I will as well, but as I'm going to do a quick scan. Is there any reaction to our presence? I'm assuming most of the people here are dressed up.
A little less scruffy than we are.
Yeah.
You're correct, but there's no reaction.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll take a seat too.
So,
Marsh wants to Marsh is going to sit down, but he's kind of keeping an eye around. Are there any? Does he see any Nosferatu around here? Any people ugly as him?
No.
Man. Okay.
Sorry, you're a fucking monster. Even among monsters, you're a monster.
Just curious.
Yeah, so Francis is going to speak mostly to Terry, but generally to everyone at the table. He says, recently I secured my membership in the Camarilla. My future is assured, and I want to make you the same offer as you are my most recent offspring, as it were.
Victim is the correct word.
You say that now, but you have not yet experienced all that I have given you. Regardless, we can't offer you membership right now, but we can help and support each other. You work with me on a few current projects. In a few years, all of this, and he gestures around at the fancy-ass bar and all the drinks, could be yours. If one has the gift of eternal life, why spend it sleeping in grubby storerooms under dingy bars?
You know, I might only be 2 days old, but I feel like if I have eternal life, I'll want to do a lot of everything because I have the time. So we'll see.
Well, what is it that you do want? I can offer you a safe haven here for one, safety against the Inquisition. We know how to deal with them. Superior hunting grounds. The Camarilla has the best territory in the city. You won't have to sneak around and risk poaching.
Poaching?
Encroaching on the territory of another kindred. He said poaching, but now he's saying encroaching.
Oh.
Because you asked what it means.
So, as I may be naive, but what are the alternatives to sacrificing my humanity?
How do you mean?
What can I eat that's not human? I know that in game terms we discussed this last session, but Terry has no knowledge.
Many a kindred sustains themselves primarily on animal blood. You will not get quite the satisfaction from it that you would from mortal human blood, but it can be done. There are also those who subsist on donated blood from blood packs, but you need certain connections to acquire those.
And would a blood pack satisfy me entirely?
No, nothing will do that except for draining a living victim completely.
Okay. It's good to know.
Do you mean, when you say completely, you mean to death?
Have you fed yet?
I shrug. I'm not telling him.
I have not.
He looks to you, Sam, because you did not say that you hadn't. And when you fed, did your cattle pass?
Cattle.
Person.
Yeah, we're not using the C word anymore either.
Just growing the list. Yeah,
If you would like me to explain, we must have a conversation.
of course. No. He did not.
And when you were done, your hunger was reduced, but you still felt it to some extent, did you not?
You're saying the only way not to feel hungry is to murder.
Their lives will end soon anyway. That is how some kindred look at it. There are those who choose never to take a life in such a way, but ours is the province of the predator.
Duly noted. Speaking of their lives will end soon anyway, maybe you can explain something interesting we noticed. Seems like we all got picked up real quick by this second acquisition thingy right after being turned, including your offspring? Progeny.
Including myself. I was able to escape a few weeks ago, but yes, I was staked shortly after our embrace.
Does that have anything to do? I'm given to understand that your passionate devotion to the advantages of the Camarilla is a rather recent development.
Yes, well, you have by now heard of the Second Inquisition, and most mortals have heard of the first one.
Yes, we have. We've heard them, been there, got the T-shirt.
Well, it was the First Inquisition that spurred the formation of the Camarilla. It was a response to the humans hunting us. That crusade of theirs devastated us in Europe. Since then, we have spread across the globe. We offer a better, safer society than what came before. It was the Camarilla that ended the Inquisition the first time, and it will be the Camarilla that survives it this time. In years past, joining was as simple as swearing fealty to the local prince, but escalating conflict has caused us to close ranks. Potential members now must prove their worth and their loyalty.
Well, what's this job you brought on? You suggested.
He raises his hand and gestures to Allison to come back over. And she does so with a tablet, and she plays you a little clip of a video. It's a video from a security camera in which you see yourselves waking up in the freezer and Terry cutting down the dead man just before Marsh lunges to feed from him, and then the video cuts off.
Is that Marsh's expression behind the mask?
Yes.
Nice.
Very much a, hey, that was me.
I look badass. Why do you have this?
Allison is going to answer that. She says, one of our operatives got a hold of this recording. We believe that the Inquisitors have been following you are holding on to the original media. If you recover it, it might give us a shot at... It might give you a shot at joining our organization. This will be beneficial not only to you personally, but it could also avoid a Masquerade breach.
Oh, what a who breach?
Have you spent an entire night in the company of the Anarchs and not been told about the Masquerade? This is why we need real leadership and real organization. The Masquerade is our word for that which we do to hide our existence from mortals. If the Masquerade is breached, it risks bringing the Inquisition down on all of us.
Is there like a third option?
A third option? Between us and the Anarchs?
I said it under my breath. I don't. I make a face, but I don't say anything.
A third option.
No, there is no third option. There isn't even a second option. You either side with the Camarilla or you will die screaming in the streets like the Anarchs or whatever it is they're calling themselves in this generation. Listen, you must get this recording back. It is the only way to find out why they took you. It is the only way to avoid the possibility of it falling into mortal hands. We have only this snippet, but we believe that they had the original with them.
I have a question. I'm inclined to accept what you're saying about the importance of getting this footage back. I don't like having information floating around about me. But I'm curious, you seem to be extremely well informed on what the three of us have been up to. How exactly do you come to have so much information down to a description of where we spent the night?
Francis will speak up. Well, that has something to do with myself. As you know, I was only recently inducted into the ranks here myself. And one of my first orders of business was to use the resources of this fine organization to track down my child, Terry. I knew he had been taken the same night as myself, and we put our operatives to the task of finding where he had been taken. It was that course of action that led them to recover this snippet of footage.
So you two are just got lucky to be with me, I guess.
That's correct. If only your own sires cared as much about you. Or perhaps they were staked as well and are still being held. I am only here because I escaped.
Doesn't make it. What the big thing that bugs me about the Second Inquisition is why bother staking so many people when clearly, or so many of us, when clearly we're getting out.
It's a good question, and that's one of the reasons why we wish you would track down these inquisitors and take what data they have on them.
For Sam, she's convinced she's going to do it. So I don't want to, just keeping an eye on the time, if we're going to go and do this tonight. I would expect, to ask Terry some questions about everything, or not Terry, Francis, everything he knows about the place and things like that. But unless anybody else has any other questions to play out that, for information that Francis, I assume, wouldn't give us willingly.
I don't know. What do you assume he wouldn't tell you willingly?
I assume he would, Sam would run through like all the logistics of like, okay, where is the place? What do you know about it? Where were you when you woke up? You
misunderstand. He's not giving you like a plan and a location. He is offering you a car to go find them and get the data back. It's your job.
I see. All right.
Wow.
Accepted.
Some eagle parenting for sure.
He's offering you a car and a driver. He says guns. The driver is mortal, like Allison. Do not worry. He is a ghoul, loyal to me.
G word. Okay.
Do you not know the G word, offspring?
Can you just call me Terry? Because I'm definitely not going to be calling you Daddy.
The night is young.
That's,
a ghoul is a mortal addicted to vampire blood. They will do anything for it. It increases their strength and ensures their loyalty.
So I can sell drugs? That's crazy.
Sell? Yeah, so they're offering you a car with a ghoul driver. They see that Sam and Terry already have pistols. They will offer one to Marsh.
Yeah, Marsh waves that off.
All right, well, it's a Honda Civic. The guy turns around and says, "Where do you want to go?"
All right, I want to start with, I am assuming that Sam has to know, just in my line of work, I have to know somebody who can crack these hard drives. I think that's our best clue. We can either crack the hard drives or we can go back to where we were being held and investigate that location and with these powers and see if we can find anything there.
Didn't you know someone where we were being held at that restaurant?
Sorry, I got two of you at once from Terry and Marsh. What was the question?
Jason, why don't you go first?
Oh, Marsh is just like gonna turn to Sam and go, "Well, we're talking about going back to that restaurant, but didn't you know someone at that restaurant?"
Yes, I did. My cousin showed up there for some damn reason.
Did she even notice you were dead?
Yeah, she definitely. Oh. I don't believe she did.
That's weirder.
Well, in
Granted,
fairness,
there
we
were a
did
lot of
just
circumstances going on, so maybe.
yeah, we just burst out of a freezer, so there was a damn good reason for us to be cold and pale. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there were other things going on. Storyteller, if I wanted to find somebody who could crack the drives, would that be, how would you want me to roll to see if I could find somebody who could do that for us?
For starters, I would say, this might be. I might allow charisma since it has to do with your relationships, and I guess you don't really have a skill for tech, but
What
What
I guess-
about persuasion? Charisma plus persuasion?
well, you're asking me if you can think of somebody that you know who could do this. So you're not persuading anyone. You're sort of racking your own brain. I would allow investigation, charisma plus investigation. So that representing a combination of your social circle plus your ability to think through your social circle.
All right, charisma plus investigation. Okay, that's gonna. Oh, that's okay. Wow, that was a terrible roll. I only have 2 successes. One of them is a crit success, and the crit success is on my blood dice, my hunger dice. I mean, forgetting my
Crit,
terminology.
isn't it?
The messy crit.
Okay, you do know someone who could probably crack a hard drive, and guess what?
He's in LA.
It's Parker Perry, your cousin, your security guard who works at the restaurant.
That's what she was in jail for.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a messy situation. That's what you rolled for.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess we are going back. Funny, I didn't think of that till this very moment.
Well, it's not something she's done recently. I mean, she works as a security guard. But you are in this car. The driver starts to pull out, and you do not get very far before you hear a sound from outside the car. A sound kind of like squeak, 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 squeak. And looking back behind you, you see riding on a donut with the blood cleaned off the windshield, a white van with spiderwebbed glass.
Oh, that kind of a donut.
Oh,
Small tire. Small tire.
No, it's a chocolate donut. It has nuts on it.
I
I was confused
wouldn't be
too.
the weirdest thing that's happened.
You know what? I realize now you guys didn't see the end of the sentence coming when I said the word donut.
I was just picturing like the big, like somebody yanked the big
The
donut
Randy's
off of
donut.
Randy's
Yeah,
donut.
no, it's
They're just like running hamster wheel style down the street. Like, sure, why not?
that
Let's have
Second
it happen
Inquisition,
now.
man. They are resourceful. No, they are. It's the white van riding on a donut spare tire. That is clearly not the original spare from this vehicle because you don't have a donut in a full-size van, but it's what they have, and they are still patrolling this area. They're coming after you. Somehow they knew that you were here on the other side of town, and they're following the car.
Okay.
Say, are you fucking kidding me?
I would like to do what I was built for and live up to my name of Rabble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rebel it up.
I
Rebel,
reach
rebel.
into the back of the Civic, and I grab the crowbar, tire iron. There, thank you.
Mhm.
And I ask driver, spin the car so I can jump out. and like use my umbral leap to jump onto their car. And I'm gonna
Yes,
go to
sir.
town. Marsh follow second. We're done. I'm done.
Yes, sir. Do you want me to just spin the car once, or do you want me to just do donuts in the intersection, sir?
Do whatever Sam suggests after I leave.
So with all these donuts, we can just
It's a donut-heavy night. What can I say? He is
apparently.
currently eating a donut.
Marsh, you got my back, right?
What?
I'm gonna jump.
He starts doing donuts in the intersection. You may
You can
leap
just
out of
get
the
over-
donuting
this
car.
is not a fucking limo.
No, this is
That
this is
van
just a sedan.
fucked.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, he's doing donuts in the intersection. The van has full stopped in the middle of the street. It's completely like it was going to follow you guys for whatever reason, and now they are just completely baffled by this ghoul doing donuts in the intersection.
So it's like making
As are
it's like
we all.
slight smoke screen, right? Because of all
A
the
little
rubber
bit.
being-
It's not much
Yeah.
of a screen, but there's definitely smoke.
It's definitely enough of
and-
a distraction where I can sneak away.
No,
What?
you're in
I
the
jump onto-
intersection. You
No,
can
no, I
jump.
do-
We're in the- They
You-
can
it-
see us.
You
I mean, I don't
said
know
to
why they
the
haven't
driver.
kicked out that windshield yet, but
You said to the driver you wanted him to spin the car so you could leap at the van. He is continuously spinning the car,
Alright,
waiting for you to leap.
Drive towards the white van.
Yes, sir. He pulls out of the donut. You guys are all a little dizzy. None of you feel like throwing up because you're undead. And he floors it towards the white van.
I mean, the white van's like, it's right there.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't gain much speed, but he floors it towards the white van. That's what Terry told him to do.
Yeah, don't. Alright.
Hey,
He's
like,
not.
don't-
He's not going to head-on collision. He's going to pass it. He's going to go by
Okay.
it. Yeah.
How's the white van
Ready?
reacting?
And you said this was a Civic?
Yes, I did.
All right.
It needs new tires now.
It sure does.
By the way, we need new tires on the van. Remind me.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah, we could probably just get away.
Yeah, for real.
This
While
car is
he's doing these,
significantly better suited for escape from a junked ass van than a limo.
yeah,
But you guys have been sent to capture specifically these people. So
Oh wait, specifically these people.
yeah, they're
Oh,
the.
then let's just fucking stop and I mean, how many other people are out on the street right now? What time is it?
It's probably 11 p.m., 11:30 by now. There's not too many people.
are we on a major LA street or are we on the
So-
side streets?
You're on the
Okay.
side street where the parking garage lets out onto.
Yeah, I mean, we could we could have just lured them into a back alley or somewhere secluded and ambushed them.
We can still do that.
Where you are right now, it's not particularly secluded, but it's also not particularly public. You're on a
Yeah,
small side street.
Well, okay,
but
let's just
they
go to the
know
top
where
of this
we
parking
are.
garage.
Versus, hey, let's let them follow us for a little bit, duck down somewhere slightly weird, and be ready for them. Or
Well-
we could just get out right now and beat the shit out of them.
I
I
believe
like to
Terry.
imagine
I believe
we're having
Terry
this
was going with
conversation.
the second plan there. He was just going to beat the shit out of him, hence the donutting.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, sure, fuck it, let's go.
Alright, as we
Buddy,
pass by
let's
them, I
stop.
swing the door open and leap onto the van.
As you leap onto the hood of the van, which isn't even that hard because you're jumping out of a Honda Civic that's still gaining speed and the van isn't moving at all. So it's much easier than when Marsh did it. You leap onto the hood and you see at the wheel the driver just go,
Yeah, I climb onto the roof now.
okay.
Yeah,
The
and-
bullets start going through the roof.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
no, while Terry's doing this, Marsh wants to just get out, move
Yeah.
quickly to the van, which I'm assuming is right there.
Yeah, it is now right there because it was
And
real
just,
close to you.
Which side am I on?
You are on the van's driver's side.
Yeah, cool. I'm just gonna fucking go back in through that window, motherfucker. You keep away from me this time.
Now you can do the thing you were going to do before. We'll go ahead and let's just have you attack roll the van. This is going to be a difficulty 3 because it's not moving and it's huge. Actually, I'm going to cut it down to 2.
Oh, you're gonna make it a little easy on me.
The goal, your goal right now is just to break the window, right?
Didn't I already? No, because he got out before. But I mean, wouldn't I have smashed that window up anyway?
I mean, if you want to say that you smashed the window anyway when you were trashing the van, that's fine. In which case, this attack roll is to pull the guy out the window.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. And
okay, well
that
will
successes.
Be. I was just gonna say that's difficulty 4, so you did it. You got this guy, and he's coming out that window.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 are gonna pop open the back. Sam, what are you doing?
They're not
I am. If you don't mind, I'll pick up those 2. I am, as soon as these 2 exit the vehicle, I'm just gonna lean up to the driver, like, braced around the passenger seat, and just go ahead and, guessing if these 2 are coming in from the front, I'm gonna say I can anticipate going to the back. I'm gonna say, drive around to the back, hun.
Okay, and so when you say the driver, you mean the driver of the Civic?
Yes.
Okay. So you're still in the Civic, and you're telling the ghoul to just pull around the back of the van.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to hop out myself as soon as he does that and intercept the 2 that are climbing out of the back of the van.
Okay, and what do you do as they open the door? Because they have been shooting up through the roof at Terry, and then they're going to pop open the door, and they're planning to run again. But you're behind them, and they're blocked by a Civic.
I was assuming that I was in the back seat. I'm just going to hop out whatever side is closest to the van.
Yeah, that's what I described.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just going to hop out, double tap 1, and try to take the other one alive.
Okay, roll an attack roll for the one you want to shoot.
Alrighty. Let's see. Just reminding myself here what my attack is.
It's 5 with a pistol.
Yes. Alrighty, that is 2 successes.
Dead.
Alright.
And then for the other one, you want to try and grapple him? Or
I'm actually going to intimidate and just hold her at gunpoint and just yell, get down on the ground.
She is peeing herself quite literally, but she doesn't.
All right. She does do it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I go ahead and I don't have any. I automatically reach for handcuffs or zip ties. I'm like, oh shit. And just go ahead then and just quickly kneel on her back, hands pinned behind her back, holding her physically in place while I kind of look around for anything to secure her hands. That'll be my turn.
All right. Marsh, you have the guy on the ground. Terry, you're still up on the roof. At this point, with 1 dead, 1 restrained, 1 dead and 2 restrained, these people are not a threat to you anymore. What are you gonna do? I would say, with Marsh and Sam both holding someone, Terry, anything else that you want to do would be up to you, probably.
All right. I want Terry would like to consider. Does he think he could have flipped the car like he wanted to?
The van?
The van.
maybe you feel like maybe you could have expended some sort of supernatural resource that you have within yourself to maybe have flipped the van.
Yeah, definitely. Now I definitely just enter the van and grab all the laptops and stuff and all the hard drives and all the backpacks and shove it into whatever they use to run away.
The woman that Sam has at gunpoint looks back and says, if you're looking for the footage, it was on the hard drives we lost.
Well, look at that. It was the real.
I look at her and I go, oh, sorry, you go.
Wow. We had the power to go home all along.
You did?
I hit her in the back of the head.
She dies.
No, not that hard.
She dies. You hit her in the back of the head with a gun. That sometimes people die. Yeah, so you guys pretty much wrapped this up. I was a little frustrated that you guys straight up attacked the van in your first encounter because this all was supposed to happen in the second encounter. You're just supposed to get away the first time, but you kept missing your shots, and Marsh just jumped out onto the windshield.
Yeah, because they kept missing their shots.
Yeah. If
Got a bigger bullet.
Marsh, if you had done anything other than get out and attack the van, and then you had failed at it, the next thing that would have happened, like literally the next thing after that, was going to be Jackie pulling out a gun and shooting the driver and you guys just getting away. Like that was the next thing that was going to happen. But instead you leaped onto the roof, which is what I would have done if I were playing Marsh. But yeah, definitely.
100%. No, somebody was going to jump out of the car onto that van.
Well, with you guys have the laptops, and with their laptops, you are able to open the files on the hard drives. You do find the original copy of the footage that you were shown, and it does go on a little longer. You see everything that you guys did in the freezer, but you also see a little before that when you were dragged in, and the carcasses were hung up specifically in that room after you guys were brought in, including the human body and the animals. They were hung up after you guys were dragged in, and then the stakes were removed and you were left alone. What you get the sense, much as Marcus was suggesting, that this was an experiment. They wanted to see what you would do. They wanted to see, would they feed on the animals? Would they feed on the human body? Would they feed on the living security guard that we hired to patrol the place? It was just to see what you'd do. That's all it was. In terms of any sort of conspiracy theory about why it was you guys specifically, you don't find any information. All you know is 3 of you were put in this freezer to see what you do as newborn kindred. Now, before I can reveal anything else as we wrap up here, what do you think the 3 of you will do in terms of your relationships going forward? Do you have any inclination to try and get in with the Camarilla? Are you going to go back and hang out with the Anarchs? Are you going to do some third thing that's not either of those? What do you think?
I think I'm going to do a hybrid of both, of option 1 and 2, to create a third option.
Well, the Anarchs and the Camarilla are enemies, flat out enemies. So if you're trying to join both crews, neither one's going to have that.
I would just say I'm not a part of either. But I would very much, I think, prove to be capable and just be invaluable on either of them, so they wouldn't want to say no. And I would definitely be doing stuff that the Cammy would be like, well, he's expendable, so fuck him.
Yeah, and you know what? That attitude kind of by default would make you an Anarch, because like I said, it's more a movement than an organization.
Yeah.
What about Sam?
Sam didn't resonate that well with the whole cattle comment. She had her tours being treated like a body in boots and not a person, and she's not really eager to go back to that. So yeah, she is definitely, her focus still is and will remain trying to find the person who her creator. So,
Okay.
but she kind of likes these guys, and she would also try to avoid making a solid commitment to one side or the other, but would definitely lean more anarch just by default.
And Marsh?
Yeah, fuck these 1%er pricks.
Okay, so all of that said, are you guys going to take the data that you've gathered back to the Camarilla?
I think
no.
I would to get paid. Because the Anarchs,
I mean,
Like,
were we
that's the
getting
movement.
paid?
We were not getting paid.
Yeah,
They
we
did
were
not
getting
offer us
paid.
money.
Where did
That
this
was
paid
a-
comment come from?
Yeah, that was to get us in with the organization.
oh, then fuck them.
Okay, so because you do not take this stuff back to the Camarilla, you do not learn any more information than what I already said. The Anarchs do not have the technical resources to crack any more data out of these hard drives. The Camarilla might have, but yeah, you guys kind of go on about your unlives, not knowing ever what the fuck this Inquisition bullshit was about when you got locked in a freezer on your first night as Kindred. But you know, good luck being undead. And that's it. You,
All right,
you guys have
yay!
succeeded. You have blown off the Camarilla. The civic driver is really mad and goes and tells on you.
Yeah.
Probably gets killed for bringing bad news. And yeah, there you go.
So, is it like, this is Cody's understanding? There's definitely multiple houses within the Camarilla, right?
I think so, yes. There are different fiefdoms, like every city has a prince, like a lord, Camarilla lord of the city. And then there's probably more granularity within that, but I didn't read up on all of that too much because this wasn't really a Camarilla-centric game.
Yeah, I think ultimately, just to like hash out like just the role play of it, I think ultimately Terry would probably end up in the Camarilla, but under like a very progressive house, which is not that progressive, I guess, in the sense of like the Camarilla, but still, right? One that is enough to where he can operate what he wants to do, and still have like access to.
You're trying to be Marius from Les Mis. You're trying to be a revolutionary, but also be rich anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I get killed at the end of that movie, I'm pretty sure, right?
No,
Marius lives.
The one that survives.
You're gonna. What'd you say, Vampire Elon Musk?
Yeah, I said have fun working for Vampire Elon Musk.
So Elon Musk.
I wouldn't call him.
No, Elon Musk
That guy's
is
just
not
psychotic.
that cool. He's just a...
I got a surprise for you. Vampires aren't that cool.
No, but at the same time...
No, I know. We're joking around.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I think Marsh would stick around Sam and try and help her out with her just whole this. Because he doesn't really have anything going on.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this week. Possibly Friday night D&D this week. Not decided yet. No Monday stream next week. In 2 weeks we do Merkborg.
Yay, Merkborg. Sign up for my Merkborg game.
Sign up for Jason's Merkborg game.
Is it not a contiguous
This
game?
way.
It is not contiguous. It's just a bunch of one-shots.
Oh.
Well, this one, so what I'm looking to do upcoming is going to be a little contiguous.
Oh.
I'm basing it off an old D&D adventure.
Okay.
So I am hoping to do more than one shot with it. It doesn't need to be all like, back to back to back to back.
Okay.
And a little bit of like player the thing where some people drop out and some people come in.
Yeah.
Turnover. It can work with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the schedule after Merkborg, the schedule is booked through beginning of September. So if we want to bring in another one, it could be then.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Cool. Thanks for
again.
playing Vampire with me, guys.
Yeah.
I got this fancy book, which, as it turned out, I barely cracked because the starter set for this is really good.
This
is really good.
This is probably the best starter set or starter kit for any game that I've run. It had even the story guide, which is basically the adventure booklet. It had the relevant rules in sidebars as you went along through the story, and your character sheet. Yeah, your character sheets had pre-calculated roles on them to make them easier for you to use. They had backstory written on them. The backstory on the pre-gen character sheets is referenced in the story guide, saying if someone's playing such and such character, then he can get this information and so forth. Just really, really well done starter set. Can't recommend it enough.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really good. Cool. Great system. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.